Hello, yogis, and thank you so much for joining me in today's Hippie Flow, a hip opening practice. We'll begin in Tadasana, taking a deep breath, rooting down, and widening the stance to 5-pointed star. Take a deep breath, arms come overhead. Exhale, lower the pelvis into goddess pose. Inhale to rise back to 5-pointed star. Exhale to wide-legged forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, fall back into your forward fold. Inhale to lift. And on your next breath, walk your hands and feet to Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. Feel free to move the hips, bend the knees. On your next breath, the knees bend, pelvis comes down for tabletop. From here, we're going to breathe through a couple cat-cows. Inhale for cow, exhale for cat. On your next breath, tuck your toes, exhale, pelvis comes into the air for downward facing dog. Take a breath, right leg comes into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, right leg comes forward. Inhale to rise to warrior one. Breathe it out here. Exhale, palms come back down to the mat. Right foot comes back to meet the left. Take a breath in downward facing dog. And bring your left foot up into the air for three-legged dog. Exhale, left foot comes forward. Inhale to rise to warrior one on the left side. Exhale, palms come to the mat, left foot meets the right. Take a breath in downward facing dog. And either walk or jump your feet to your hands for forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, lower the pelvis all the way down. We're in a yogi squat. Palms are at heart center. Elbows are just inside the knees, helping us open the hips. Take a breath. Exhale, reach behind your right knee, twisting to the left. Inhale to return to center. And exhale, reach behind the left knee, twisting to the right. Inhale, back to center. Go ahead and push yourself into a seated position and immediately raise those legs up for Navasana, boat pose. Take a couple of breaths here and prepare yourself for a couple of boat crunches. One more breath in Navasana. Exhale back to the mat, but feet and arms are floating. Abs are activated. Inhale back to Navasana. Exhale to that crunch ready position. Inhale back to Navasana. Exhale, go ahead and release Navasana. Feet are on the mat, soles are touching for butterfly pose. Feel free to flap your wings if you need some movement in your hips. And on your next breath, go ahead and straighten those legs in front of you for staff pose. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, seated forward fold. Continue to breathe. Inhale to rise. Left leg bends, right leg is straightened at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold on the right side. And breathe into the stretch. One more breath here. And inhale to rise. Go ahead, grab that right foot, bring it to your chest and give it a hug for seated figure 4. Exhale, release your leg. Left leg straightens, right leg is bent. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, forward fold on the left side. Breathe it out here. One more breath here. And inhale to rise. Go ahead and grab that left foot. Bring it to your chest for seated figure 4. Give yourself some lovin's. Go ahead, release that foot. We're in easy seated pose. From here, we're going to straighten the legs and come as close to a middle splits as you can. From here, we're going to tick-tock the body from left to right. And exhale, bend to the right side, giving your left side body a good stretch. Make sure to keep your shoulders open. Inhale to rise back to center. Tick-tock again. And exhale to the left side, giving your right side body a good stretch. Breathe deeply. Inhale to rise. Take a breath. Bring your legs in front of you for staff pose. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, seated forward fold. Breathe it out here. One more breath here. On your next inhale, rise back up to staff pose. Bend the knees almost for crisscross applesauce, but placing an ankle over a knee and your knee over the ankle for fire log pose. Take one more breath in fire log pose and release this, coming to a seated position on the knees. Inhale for a tall spine. Palms are on the small of the back. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, back to a neutral spine. Exhale, back bend into hero's pose. Palms on the mat behind you. Open your heart. Breathe deeply. Inhale, back to a neutral spine. Take a breath. Raise to your knees. Tall spine. Palms on the small of your back. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale to neutral. On the next exhale, either do a baby back bend or full Utkatasana, camel pose. Continue to breathe deeply. Take one more breath in camel pose. Exhale, release back down to the mat. We're going to meet in a tabletop position, breathing through a couple cat-cows. And exhale, tuck those toes, raise that pelvis for downward facing dog. Breathe it out here. Inhale, right leg comes into the air. Exhale, right leg comes forward for low lunge. Keeping your hips and your shoulders square. Continue to breathe. The further back you bend, the better stretch you get on your hips. The further forward you go, the more ease you create. Exhale, release those palms back down to the mat. Straightening your right leg, bending your left for half splits on the right side. One more breath here. Exhale, bend that right leg, straighten the left. We're back to low lunge. Deep breaths. Exhale, release those palms to the mat. Right foot comes to meet the left. Take a breath in down dog. Inhale, left leg comes into the air. Exhale, left leg comes forward for a low lunge on the left side. Once again, keeping your hips and your shoulders square. Breathe into the stretch. One more breath in low lunge. Straighten that left leg, bending the right for half splits. Focusing on a straight back more than straight legs. One more breath here. And bend that left leg, straighten that right for low lunge. Continue to breathe. Exhale, return those palms to the mat. Feet come back together for downward facing dog. Take a breath. We're going to hop the feet to the hands, enter into yogi squat. Take a breath here. Palms come back to the mat. Hop back to down dog. Take a breath. Jump the feet into forward fold. Inhale, rise to Tadasana. Take a breath here. And exhale, the knees bend and the pelvis lowers for chair pose. The glutes are strong, the pelvis is tucked. Exhale, twist to the left. Option to open up your arms for an additional chest expansion. Take a breath, return to center chair. Exhale, twist to the right. Open up your arms if you did so before. Take a breath. Return to center chair. Inhale, rise to Tadasana. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, Tadasana. And from here, we begin to transition into tree pose. Root yourself in your right side. When you're ready, bring your left foot to either the inside of the calf or the inside of the thigh. And breathe into your tree. Option to keep the palms at heart center or to raise your arms into the air for branches. Continue to breathe. Exhale, go ahead, release back down to the mat. Tadasana. Root yourself in your left side. When you're ready, inhale, right toes come to the inside of the calf or the thigh for tree pose. Continue to breathe. Wave your branches. Think about what kind of a tree you are today. I'm a palm tree today. Exhale, release back down to the mat. Tadasana, and we'll prep for dancer's pose. Begin rooting in your right side. Left leg bends, capturing the foot behind you in your left hand. Inhale, raise up, kick into your hand for dancer's pose. Continuing to breathe, exhale, release back down to the mat. Back to Tadasana, root yourself in your left side. Right leg bends, right hand captures the foot, and kick back into that foot for dancer's pose on the left side. One more breath. Release that back down to the mat. We're back to Tadasana. And from here, we're going to get ready for standing splits. Root yourself in your right side. Bent left leg comes up like a high knee. Capture that foot in your hand. And when you're ready, straighten both legs for standing splits. Find that drishti and continue to breathe. Exhale, return back down to the mat. Take a breath in Tadasana and root yourself in your left side. Bent right knee comes up like a high knee. Capture that foot. And when you're ready, straighten the leg into standing splits. Once again, breathe it out here. Exhale, return to the mat. Tadasana. Deep breath in, arms come overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Take a breath here. Walk your hands to Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes into the air. Exhale, right leg comes forward for pigeon pose. Keeping your shoulders and your hips square, breathe into your pigeon. Option to grab that back leg for an additional stretch in mermaid pose. Continuing to breathe. Release that leg if you took the option. Inhale for a tall spine. Exhale, melt your chest to the mat for sleeping pigeon. Breathe into the stretch. One more breath in sleeping. Next inhale, rise your pigeon. Exhale, palms come to the mat. Right foot comes to meet the left. And take a breath in Adho Mukha Savasana. Inhale, left leg comes into the air for three-legged dog. Exhale, left leg comes forward for pigeon pose on the left side. Once again, keeping your hips and shoulders square. Breathe it out here. If you took the option to grab that back leg on the other side, do so again here. Exhale, release mermaid if you took it. Inhale for a tall spine. Exhale, sleep your pigeon. One more breath in sleeping. Inhale to rise your pigeon. Exhale, palms come to the mat. Left foot comes to meet the right. Take a breath in Adho Mukha Savasana. Exhale, release down to the mat. We'll meet in a comfortable seated position with the sit bones rooted and the soles of the feet touching for butterfly pose. Gently, vertebra by vertebra, lower yourself down to the mat, holding in butterfly position. You can have your palms facing the sky, or with one on your heart and one on your dantian. Deep breaths here. One more deep breath here. And on your next breath, capture the feet and the hands for Ananda Balasana, happy baby. Option to rock your baby from side to side, to straighten the legs one at a time or both at a time. Do what feels good on your body here. Exhale, release your happy baby. Hug those knees and release to Savasana, corpse pose. Let yourself surrender and breathe in this present moment. And remember that when we work on the hips, it often releases a lot of emotions as we carry our emotions in our hips. So I invite you to sit with your feelings and know that our feelings are who we are. Our thoughts are just who we think we are. May you feel completely free in your feelings. Continue to breathe, honoring this time. And when you're ready, turn to the side, push yourself up, and we'll meet in a seated position. I thank you guys so much for practicing with me today. As always, peace, love, namaste. And don't forget to join me on Instagram Live, weekday mornings at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. I will see you on the mat.